Hey, welcome. Awesome that you are here. I'm just checking if everything is working because, technology is usually not my best friend. So just give me a sign that you can hear me. Maybe you can say hi or you can write your name. So I can see that we are live, that we are streaming, and that you are on the other side and that you can hear me. So hello from Belgium. I am very happy that you are joining this Facebook Live session tonight. And for all those who are watching later, welcome as well, because I know that these kinds of live streams stay on for quite some time and that people like to watch it over and over again. So just say hi. Oh, I see. Here are the comments. Hey, nice. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. It's so great to see you. Hi, Martine. Hi, Helma. Hi, Martine. Hi, Magda. Simone. Jacqueline. Maya. Hey, you are there. Oh, that's great. Anita, welcome, guys. I'm so happy that you are all here. Hi, Tony Mail from England. Just make yourself comfortable, and maybe it's good that you take a pad and a pen, something like it looks like paper and a pen. Hi, Katrien. And that you can take some notes because I am pretty sure that you will want to do this. Hi, Mireille, welcome. Hi, Grit, welcome. It's great to see you coming in, all of you. Hi, Arietta. Hi, David. Welcome to this call. No, well, it's not a call. It's a broadcast, actually. It's a live stream. Hi, Karin. Good evening. It's great that you are joining this session. Hi, Anne. Hi, Annika. Hi, Irene. Oh, how great that you all come in. That's just fantastic. So I was just saying, prepare for this probably a little hour, and that I'm going to teach you. I'm going to start with the story. Hi, Patrick. Hi, Senator K from America. It's so amazing to connect people from all over the world. It's really great. So take something that looks like paper and a pen. Something that looks like a pen, so you can hide it and that you can take some notes. And tonight's topic, hi, Mihaela. What a beautiful name. Belic, I presume that's Serbian. Hi, Elia. Welcome to this live stream. And I'm happy that you make the time just before Christmas to join in. Hi, Karin. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Kathleen. All welcome to this live stream. Now, the topic of tonight is self-coaching, the power of self-coaching. I'm going to tell you a little story how I came across that topic, that idea, that concept of self-coaching. Because nowadays, when I speak about self-coaching, people go like, huh? We knew about coaching, right? That is a coach coaching, working with somebody else. So self-coaching means we are going to coach ourselves. Exactly. And I came across that topic while I was digging in my past, and we were looking over the content of our coaching program, mindset and coaching program. And you need to know me a little bit. I have a strong desire always to improve things, to make things better, to add more value. I love to give. So I was going in my mind over the structure of our coaching program, and I just felt that something was missing. And I'm going to tell you how I discovered that. When my life fell apart, and that's already a long time ago, I think it was 2004, I lost everything I had. I lost my job, my business actually. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Martina. Welcome. Hey, great that you are there from Poland. Dzień dobry. So my life was collapsing. I was losing everything. I was losing my business. I was losing my marriage. I was losing my health. I was losing the money and all the properties that I had at the time. And I was like rock bottom. And when you are rock bottom, probably that's a good starting point to ask yourself some serious questions. And the questions I was asking myself was, who am I? Now that I'm here, stuck with my back against the wall, I have no purpose. I don't know where to go to. Who am I? What do I want for the rest of my life? Something occurred to me that said, it's not normal that you are going to stay here. It cannot be your purpose that you will end up in welfare. I thank God I had that kind of awareness. And maybe a little pride, that said, that ain't gonna happen to me. Although I had nothing left. And, in the search and in the craving for answers and solutions to take my life from here to there. And that is what we are going to talk about tonight. And or today, because for some people, like for Sandra Kay, it's only like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, right? I want to talk about how do you get yourself, not somebody else, not some coach. How do you get yourself from the place where you are, stuck in an environment, and how do you get to the place where you probably want to be? And I say probably want to be because frankly, I didn't know where I wanted to be. So guys, as I'm going to share that story, please feel free to type some questions, okay? Because I will make some time to answer your questions so I can add more value to you, okay? Hi, Wilma. Hi, Martina. So I started this coaching education. I wanted to do something to get unstuck, right? And as I became a coach, and I learned a lot about the human mind and the human potential and how people grow actually, and how things are created, I will share with you tonight my 4 biggest aha moments, discoveries, insights, like big roadblocks, that were so meaningful to me. And today they are the foundation of everything I do. Still, after 12 years in this business, I still strongly believe in those 4 very valuable and strong foundations. So I'm going to share that with you. So in my education process, I discover a lot of things. And one of the things that I discover is that we have between 50,000 and 70,000 thoughts a day. I was like, really? Where are these thoughts? Because I'm not aware of these thoughts. And of course, that's the truth, because only 7% of all these thoughts pass by our awareness, by our conscious mind. And all the other thoughts, they pass, but subconsciously. It means we are not aware that we are thinking those thoughts. Now, what we need to know is that thoughts are very, very creative. And that we need to understand that if they are so creative, the quality of the thoughts will be very important. Are you with me? So I discovered at that time that if I learned to coach myself, first of all, I never need a coach. And that sounds cocky, but I mean it, because and not from an egoistic or a selfish or a bragging point of view, but I will never need a coach. I had some mentors, but that's something different. A mentor is a person who is in a position where you want to come. So they walk before you and you can watch them, and they mentor you. It means they show you the system that they applied to get somewhere. It has nothing to do with coaching. Now, I never had a coach, frankly. I learned to coach myself. And I realized that that is the biggest asset I could ever give myself. And I mean it. There's probably a lot of things I still want to learn, and I'm going to learn, like I learned to talk, from the stage. I learned to make comedy theater plays, one-woman shows. I learned a lot of other things, right? But the biggest asset, like the biggest investment in myself, is absolutely self-coaching. So I only realized that when I was looking over our own curriculum, because then I realized that I never had a coach and I never needed a coach. And the biggest value in our coaching education model today is self-coaching. It is really self-coaching. What do I mean by that? Let's define that, okay? So self-coaching saved my life because I became aware of myself and how I operate and how my mind works and how results are built, are created. And I had no clue. I thought that you had to work hard, that you had to be very persistent, and that you had to go and get it, and that you had to fight for a place in your life. That is what I thought. So for me, even building my own business as a perfumery shop, it was constant struggle. It was, you are hustling to get somewhere. And now all of a sudden I realized that the quality of my thoughts and the quality of my emotions were way more important than just the doing and the getting and the striving and the hustle that I was constantly involved in. What I didn't realize at the time was that how hard I worked, no matter how hard I worked, if my thoughts and my emotions were negative, nothing would last, because my thoughts and my emotions would kill everything that I was doing. I didn't know that at the time. And that's why even how hard I tried to make it in my business, I was killing it with my own thoughts and emotions, okay? I know that my husband is following this live stream. Honey, there's somebody saying that the sound fell away. Are you guys hearing me? Can you just type if you can hear me? I just want to check in with you. Hi, Shaq. Hi, Magda. Hi, Marta. Polish people on the call. I like that. Just,
Left vandaag.
Van wat?
Want daar
Daar ben ik niet aan geweest.
Oké.
Am I back?
Of course.
Am I back? Just can you tell me, am I back? We lost the internet connection. Yay! Woohoo! This is stressful. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Yay! Okay, all is good again. So I was saying that no matter how hard I was pushing things and thriving and trying to do, if my thoughts and my emotions were not good, everything would be bad. So there are some major insights that I discovered over the years, not only coaching myself, and of course also coaching other people, because we are all the same, we are all the same. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I'm happy that you all tell me, yeah, you're back. All is good. Okay, awesome. So the first big insight I had was, thoughts become things. And you can take that very literal. The things that we think about most of the time become our reality. We turn ideas into things. Today I had a wonderful lunch meeting with a client. He was one of my first clients when I started, actually 12 years ago, and he's going to join our coaching program now, our certification program, and the Circle program. And he said, in my office, there is one big sign and it says, thoughts become things. Everything is created twice. Everything is created twice. One time on the screen of our mind and one time in physical reality. And that is so true. The problem is, though, that I was not aware of that. I didn't know that the quality of my thoughts would determine the quality of my results and the quality of my environment, the quality of my experiences. I didn't know that. So even I was, hustling and working and being very persistent in my job, in my life, raising the kids, whatever it was, my thoughts were very negative, and my emotions that came with these thoughts were very negative. So I was creating more and more and more negative stuff, which is just insane. I didn't know that. Nobody teaches you that at school, right? So, and we need to understand that, what the implication is of this. There are two things. First of all, we are programmed. From the day we were born. Actually, the programming starts already the last month of pregnancy, because babies and young children learn from their environment, but they don't learn by language, they learn by feeling tones, right? So it means that a 2-year-old toddler maybe doesn't understand all the words you say, but the 2-year-old feels when you are upset, feels when you are sad or mad, feels when you are excited and happy. And they respond to that because they understand feeling tones, vibrations. They don't understand the words, but they don't need to understand the words. The second thing is that environment where we grow up. Now, when we are little, we accept everything and anything that environment gives to us, because we have no cells of recognition in our mind yet. We don't have a system that can explore if something is good or bad or true or false or positive or negative. We don't have a reference there. So anything that is given to us from our environment now is locked up in the deepest corners and reservoirs of our subconscious mind. But remember what I said in the beginning. It is the subconscious mind. It means it is the mind under the conscious mind. So we are not aware of our programming, of that environment. Okay, are you with me? So the first thing we need to understand and we need to remember is today we are, the composition of the environment that we were growing up in. That's the first thing. And second, we are the composition of all the experience that we had from the day we were born up until today. Okay? So this leads to programming, and to experiences. And it is the composite of the programming and the experiences that define who we are today. Are you with me? Now, this is 93% of the whole thinking is subconscious. We also have conscious thoughts, but that's only 7%. 7% conscious thoughts and 93% subconscious thoughts and emotions. Because an emotion is the end result of an experience. An emotion is the end result of an experience. We walk through life, we play in life, and all of a sudden, ta-da, we encounter something and there is an experience. What is that experience? I will show you. This is my favorite buddy, the stick man, with 5 senses. Okay, this is the mind, and this is the body. And the mind is bigger than the body because the mind is the most important part of us. And we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the thinking mind, the reasoning mind, the mind that thinks in pictures, the mind that can think. Some people call this IQ. Now there's also the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. It's the habit mind. It's the programmed mind. It's kind of a tape recorder where everything that we encounter in our life and all the experience that we have and that we experience emotionally, now we can experience that from the outside in. Here is an experience. Here is an experience. We experience something. It means that we see something, we hear something, we smell something, we touch something, we hear something. No, we see something. So now that experience builds a picture in our mind, and with that picture comes an emotion. Picture, thought, plus emotion equals an experience. Right? We experience what we see in the outside world. We make a picture, we take a Snapchat, we take that picture on our conscious mind, and now we feel something with that picture because we have cells of recognition about what is happening in the outside world. If we see war going on the news, we have cells of recognition in our subconscious mind about it, so we can feel again as what is happening in the outside world. You see? So emotions are the end results of experiences, and that's important. Why? Because the subconscious mind for 93% of the time is creating our mind. We live by our emotions, okay? So this part of our mind becomes kind of the automatic pilot in our life. You know, it's the automatic pilot. When you take a plane from Brussels to New York, right? It's about, 7-8 hours flight. And, you know, the flight attendant, the pilot, he's on the gear stick when we take off, and all of a sudden, you know, this pilot is walking around, is going to the restroom. And that's possible because there is an automatic pilot that is set on a certain goal. And that goal is New York City, right? So even the pilot is not holding the wheel, steering wheel, or the gear stick, I don't know how you call that. The plane knows what to do to get to that goal. We are programmed in exactly the same way. Let's take a test, okay? Take a look at your environment right now. Take a look at all the results that you have in any area of your life. You can look at your family, your relationship, your children, your parents, relationships with people. That's one area in your life. Okay, you can look at the quality of that result. How are these relationships? Are they harmoniously? Are they loving, caring, supporting, or is there static? Are you guys driving each other crazy? So you can evaluate that area in your life. Now take a look at your career, your job, your creative endeavor, your business, maybe if you're an entrepreneur, and you can evaluate now that area in your life, and you can say, I like it, I'm happy, I'm on top of the game, I'm killing it, or I'm like, no, I'm in a war zone, it's not okay. Then we can look at our finances, and I want to, guys, keep smiling. Keep smiling. We're going to look at the finances. How are you doing financially? Are you increasing your finances? Are you spending more than you're gaining? Are you always hustling and struggling? What is the game there? How is the relationship with money? You can evaluate those results now. Now you can look at your body temple. You can look at the quality of your body, the quality of your life, of your health, of your body, of your energy level. And now you can evaluate that. And you can say, yeah, it's kind of good. I feel great in my skin. I'm not sick. Or you can say, well, no, I'm always tired. I have a lot of headaches. I'm suffering from my back pain. My stomach aches. I don't know what's happening, but something is not good. You can evaluate that. And then you can evaluate, the things that you have, the house that you live in, the car that you drive, the clothes that you wear, the shoes that you have, the handbags, the trips that you can make. You can explore the world. What's that about? What's the material realm about? You can evaluate that. So we can look at our outside world that is surrounding us, and we can evaluate our world. And when my life collapsed in 2004, everything was ground zero. Like it was literally tsunami. Everything was washed off the table. And I was like, wow, this is bad. If I had to number, if I had to score, give a score to my life areas, it was 0, 1, 0, 0, -5. It was just tsunami. It was disaster. It was a complete war zone because I lost everything except for my 2 beautiful children. And all the rest literally was washed off the earth. And I ended up with a pit, a debt pit of €1 million. That was my situation in 2004. And it was only when I realized the programming that I had that I was able to coach myself and get out of the situation I was in. Now, guys, I hope your situation is not ground zero. It's not like that. But if we are always room for improvement. There's room for improvement, maybe for our health, for our finances, for our job, for growing the business, for the relationships that we have with our loved ones. There's always room for improvement. And I'm asking you to give your life a score between 1 and 10. What is the score? Is it 2004, like 1 to 10? Or is it maybe 9 to 10? Or is it a 7? Is it a 3? Is it a 5? Is it a 4? Give yourself a score. Play with me. okay? And then you look at the difference between the score that you give your life and the 10, and you can see the room of improvement there, all right? Now, the quality of our environment is nothing but the reflection of what is going on up here. And that was the second aha moment, right? It was the second aha moments where I realized that there are 5 different areas that we need to evaluate and where we can start from to coach ourselves. The first thing is the quality of our thoughts, right? We can look at the quality of our conscious thoughts and ask ourselves, what am I thinking of most of the time? For me, in 2004, the majority of my thoughts was worst case scenarios. You know, I was building movies in my mind of everything that could go wrong. I was afraid that I was going to lose the business. I was like frustrated that my marriage was not going the way I wanted it to be, that we were constantly in a fight, that we were living like, you know, Dolly Parton would say, and Kenny Rogers, I guess it is, islands in the stream, drifting apart. There was nothing so much in between, you know, but not love and not care. And all those movies, I was repeating these movies constantly on the screen of my mind. I just didn't know they were so creative. So the first thing we can look at is, okay, what is the quality of these thoughts? And we can start to learn to coach ourselves from the thinking level. You know, one of the things that I teach my students is become aware of your thoughts and put them on a page, put them in a statement and make them tangible, concrete, become aware of the things that you are not aware of. Because we think so much subconsciously that we are not aware that we create the worst case scenarios. And especially we are not aware that we are creating this. I mean, you must be really stupid to know this and not change it, right? I just didn't know it. If I would have known that my thoughts were hyper creative, oh my gosh, I would have changed them immediately. I just wasn't aware that they were creative, right? Because nobody told me that. The second thing we can look at is our emotions. Emotions and feeling tones, right? Feelings. They belong in the subconscious mind. And of course, those two go hand in hand. But many people ask me, isn't there first emotion and then thoughts? Well, sometimes there is, and sometimes there isn't. That's why learning to coach yourself is so powerful, because you can start from wherever you are. You know, there's some days that I become aware of this vibration that is like, you know, under my skin, and I'm feeling bad, irritated, edgy, and I even don't know why I feel this way. Are you with me? Yes, of course, we are all the same. So then I stop doing what I'm doing. I take a blank piece of paper. Now we have stickmans on Post-its, right? We're going to have them by January 1st. So I'm very happy that we will have all these materials printed out so we can work with it and we don't have to design the gazillion stickman all the time. But I can start to coach myself from the feeling point of view and stop and ask myself,
That is true. Okay. No,
Am I on?
Ja,
again?
jij bent door. Je moet doen verder.
Okay, so we're back. Woo! Where was I? I was so. Start from an emotional feeling point of view, and I can ask myself, what is it that I am feeling? If I can, if I can become aware of my feeling tones, of my emotions, I can become aware of the thoughts that come with it. You just need a system. You need this system so you will be able to coach yourself. And you can start from an emotional point of view, because very often that is what we become aware of first. We feel the vibration in our bodies. Although the subconscious mind, the emotional mind is subconscious, we feel those emotions in our bodies, right? So we can start here and say, okay, I will start with an emotion, and then I will learn to coach myself throughout this model to see how I can get unstuck. Now, the third thing I want to talk to you is thoughts. Actions, excuse me. Actions of behavior. Sometimes you catch yourself doing some things and you ask yourself, what am I doing? Or like Britney Spears would say, oops, I do it again. And then this can be a starting point to coach yourself, and you can ask yourself, what's wrong with my behavior? I don't want this anymore. So then this becomes a coaching point. Now, we need to understand that this behavior comes from this. This behavior never comes alone. There has to be mind to dictate that behavior, those actions. So once we can catch ourselves and say, hey, you're doing something that is not nice, that is not productive, you promised that you would do yourself, that you would do this and this, and you're not doing it, then we can go back to the emotions, and then we can go back to the thoughts and ask ourselves, all right, what is it that made me act like that? What is it in my thinking and in my feelings that make me react like that? Because very often that there's an emotional button and people push, and then you do something, and then once you did it, you say, oops, I shouldn't have done that. And so that can be a starting point to coach yourself. It's watching your behavior and the things that you do. Or maybe you planned consciously to do some things, but you're not doing it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Okay, the fourth level of self-coaching then is results. Because we know that thoughts plus emotions plus actions create results. So, and that's why most people go and look for a coach, because they have results that they don't. We're back. We're back. Wow, so many hiccups tonight. I'm sorry about that, guys. So we can look at some results and say, I don't like these results. How can I change those results? We have to go back to the actions. We have to go back to the emotions. We have to go back to the thoughts and look at the quality of these three levels, because these three levels determine the results. So results can be a starting point. And some results equal experiences. And now we're going to draw this arrow up like this. And sometimes there is an experience that we encounter, that we live, and we ask ourselves, oh my gosh, there's this experience, it knocks me out of course, I'm losing it now. What do I have to do with this experience? And now this can be a starting point to coach yourself. So we have 5 different angles that we can use to learn how to coach ourselves and really put our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, our results, or our experience onto a piece of paper, into the model, and really look at what is going on here. And I realized that when I learned this system 12 years ago, I never needed a coach. The only thing I need is my knowledge and my experiences in coaching so I can coach myself. And that what I realized that only today, actually, that was my starting point. It was like, okay, I was stuck, I was rock bottom, and I had to learn how to coach myself. And from that experience, I understood other people so well. I started to coach other people, and it is just fantastic. But you need to go first. You need to go first. That's why I always say this is the biggest asset that you can give yourself. Because first of all, you will never need another coach. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are willing to become a professional coach or not. I mean, we have children, we have spouses, we have friends, we have coworkers, we have team members. Maybe you are in an HR development part, or maybe you are a leader and you have a team to lead. It doesn't matter. We people have influence on other people. And when we interact with other people, that is where, the coaching starts. Now, we didn't know that at the time because the only thing we had was directive coaching. And we still see it in corporations today. Managers say, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. And people just don't take it anymore. There's a big difference. I said in my live, to my live audience 2 weeks ago, there's a huge difference between management and leadership. I just came across an article worldwide. There was some studies about the leadership level of managers in the world, and what tests were showing us is that the biggest gap today in coaching, is people who become leaders and managers and don't know how to coach people. That is one of the biggest gaps today in the world, because frankly, managers never learned how to coach. Okay. Now there are a few other insights that I want to share with you. So do you see this? What is actually the key principle that I want to give you here? The key principle is that we are programmed. We are programmed to create the results and the experiences that you and I have today. The subconscious mind is the tape recorder, right? It's the programmed mind. And here, in our outside world, in our results and our experiences, we only see the reflection of that programming. And there are 2 ways of programming. There's a programming by our environment when we were little. That's like the biggest foundation. And there is a programming that comes from the experience, life's experiences. And of course, we have beautiful experience, and then we feel happy and cheerful, and we're excited, and we want to shout out to the world. And then there are experiences that knock us off course, that makes us sad, and that makes us angry and disappointed. And mostly, we need to work on those experiences and ask ourselves, what does that mean for me? Most people don't have that awareness because they see results and experience as something that is occurring outside of themselves. They don't see that those experiences are things that we attract to make us more aware. These are invitations in life to do something with it. You know, I was talking to that person today, and he says at a certain amount of time, you know, I made so many mistakes in my business. I was working with the people that, you know, were not trustworthy, and they violated my confidence and my trust, and they ran away with my assets and things like that. And he said, frankly, I'm happy it happened, because I had to overcome that. I had to become a new person. What he was saying was, I had to reprogram my old programming so that I could change my results and change the experiences with people. Most people don't see that. They get stuck in the habitual life. You know, they get stuck in their programming. You know, results and evaluations showed in the world that the majority of people never grow older than, well, they become older than 35 years old, but once they are 35, they stop growing intellectually, emotionally, physically. You know, most people settle for what is familiar once they're 35 years old. But you know, there's a universal law that says if you're not growing, you're going backward. And that hurts badly. That hurts badly. And the reason why we go back and that we create negative results, just like I did in 2004, everything collapsed and I lost everything. The reason why that happened was that I had to become aware that I had to change my own programming, my own self-belief. I mean, I had so little confidence. I didn't like myself. I certainly didn't love myself. I was ashamed of myself. I felt guilty for the results and the experience that I created. I was really very ashamed, and I was blaming other people on top of it. And only when I start searching for solutions, I understood that I needed a checkup from the neck up. I needed to learn to coach myself. And if I look at one of the biggest gaps in the coaching market today, is yes, there are many coaching courses. Big ones, small ones, short ones, long ones, many different ones, really many. But the problem is that coaches don't know to coach themselves. They'll never learn it. You know, they learn techniques. They learn techniques how to work with other people. But they never learn to use that on themselves. And that is what I did. And, you know, years go by, and I think it is so obvious that I think that every coach knows how to do it, and that every coach does it, and they don't. And that is why you see so many coaches stuck. Oh my gosh, it is really painful when I see, when we run ads on Facebook or Instagram, and people comment and they say, oh yeah, but most coaches need a coach themselves. These people are right. These people are right. Because it is not because you learn a technique to learn to coach other people that you can use that same technique on yourself, because that's the hardest part. Why? Your own programming gets in the way. Your own programming gets in the way. It is not easy to coach yourself because your own frustrations and emotions get in the way. Your own limiting beliefs get in the way. Your own principles, convictions, the way, you know, the filter through which you see the world gets in the way. And the hardest part is overcoming that programming. But that's the key principle of self-coaching. And that's the power of self-coaching. And that is what I wanted to share with you today. And I'm going to add one more thing, if I may, that I see all the time The reason why people have such a hard time making decisions in life, every day we have to make some kind of decision. We can make decisions what to wear, we can make decisions what to eat, we can make decisions what kind of work to do, what road to take from the place where we live towards the place where we want to go. I mean, there's thousands of decisions every day. But those decisions are run by the subconscious mind, not by the conscious mind. Look at your grocery list. Look at your GPS. The same addresses are programmed in your GPS. Life is every day the same. The alarm gets off at the same time. You step out of bed on the same side of the bed. You smash the alarm with the same fist. You go to the toilet and you use the toilet like you always do. You look in the mirror to see and to remember who you are. And then, the next thing is you make your favorite cup of coffee or tea and you drink it in your favorite mug. And then you get into your car and, it is unbelievable. We always do the same things. Are you with me? Type a yes if you understand what I'm saying. Okay? Is this clear what I'm saying? Are you with me? Just type a yes that I know that you are there. So the decision making, is led by the programming in our subconscious mind. If you don't know how to coach yourself, you will not be able to make healthy decisions. You know that the majority of people cannot accept a new idea because the programming rejects all new ideas. It sounds like, oh, no, it's not the time. I'm not ready. I don't have the money. Well, let me tell you, you'll never have the money because you're programmed to have the money that you have today. You're programmed to have the relationships that you have today. You're programmed to have the surroundings, the house, the cars that you have today. You're programmed to have, the business that you have today, the team that you have today. And it is so easy to think that has nothing to do with us. And I want to put my hands on your hearts tonight, guys, and give it some thought because it has everything to do with you. And now I'm making my fourth and last point, and it is thoughts plus emotions attract the same kind of stuff in your life, even if you're not doing anything. This is the really cool part. So if the majority of your thoughts is worrying and negative, and you're giving all the attention on the things that you don't want and that you are afraid of, and you're building worst case scenarios, I have news for you. Ta-da! That is what you are creating. I'm sorry. That is what you are creating. And second, the emotions and the feelings that come with that movie, that come with that idea, if they are negative, like frustrations, stress, don't talk about positive stress. Positive stress is good, and it just takes 5 minutes. Like when I go on the stage, it takes 5 minutes. I'm stressful because you see it tonight. When we do something live, anything can go wrong. And that's stressful. But after 5 minutes, I can forget about the stress. So let's not talk about positive stress. Let's talk about the 70% of the population, Western population, that is living by 70% of stress hormones every day. Ooh, time out, picture. The majority, 70% of our population, we call it Western civilization, right? You guys, we, us. 70% of our population lives by 70% of stress hormones every day. But that's a feeling too. Stress is an emotion because you feel it in your body more, even more. It searches away in your body. That's why we get rashes and we get neck pain and stomach aches and we lose our voice and things like that. And if that stays on too long, we get sick. We can worry ourselves sick. I have a friend who is Italian. He says, we are worse. We can worry ourselves to death. You know, are you with me? Say yes. Are you with me? Do you think that this is valuable, guys? Do you think that tonight's session is going to help you to become more aware of your thoughts and your feelings and your actions and your results and your experiences? Because the outside world is no coincidence. It's no luck. It's no bad luck, and it's no default. Really not. It is your creation, 100%. And yes, there are other people in this world who have the same kind of creation, and that's why we meet and we create things together. We call that entanglement and co-creation in the quantum mechanics field, right? So we co-create with other people. And that's all good. We cannot live alone anyway. But let's look at our own box first. Let's look at the results. Because results never lie. Experiences never lie. They tell us where our mind is. And yes, 93% is subconscious. How can we become conscious of the things that we think and feel and do? Ta-da! Results and experiences. That is the feedback of life that tells us something about who we are and how we operate. And when you learn to coach yourself, you can change that operation. You can change that programming. You can change those habits because we make it as concrete and tangible as this. Really, I'm working on some great materials for our coaches to use on themselves in the first place. So it becomes more and more easy to coach yourselves. And yes, in the second place, people can also use that to coach other people. But you will never become a good coach if you don't know how to coach yourself. Really not, because you can only give what you have. Ta-da! Okay, questions, my friends. Tell me, what do you want to know? Please shoot. Patrick says, yes, day by day, it's going better to create. Yeah, because you could be, and Patrick is in our first level and in our top level. Fantastic, wonderful student. And every day you become aware of new layers in your subconscious mind. Every day. Honestly, I've experienced this firsthand going through my burnout. Oh yeah, so glad this is such a confirmation. Thank you. You are so welcome. Yes. You know, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday who is like tiptoeing towards a burnout. Because, you know, you tiptoe. You just don't jump into a burnout. You tiptoe. And all of a sudden you realize that you're in this far. And this person says like, oh my God, my body is warning me that I am here again. And I'm thinking, again? We know we have students in our program that had to overcome 3 burnouts before they had this system to coach themselves, and now they are rid of it forever. No more burnouts, because everything is energy management. That is one of my favorite lines. My students know it. Everything is energy management. Thoughts, energy management. Emotions, energy management. Actions, behavior, it's energy management. Looking at results and evaluating results, energy management. Dealing with experiences, and there are some bad ones that shake you, that kick you alive, and that make you aware of the things that you were not aware, and it's energy management. It's all about energy management, everything. How do you, when coaching yourself, keep from going too deep down the rabbit holes that are negative? Well, that's a very good question. It means that you start with an emotion, right? You start with an emotion and then you map this out. You map the whole figure out. And going down the rabbit hole, we have an exercise that we are going to do, Sandra Kay, that is called, I call that exercise support systems. Mainly, we go layer by layer in the subconscious mind, and we are going to look at what supports what. So we are hunting paradigms, frankly. That is what we do. So we look at the emotion, and that's the first layer. And then we ask ourselves, where is this emotion coming from? Well, this emotion, ta-da, supports a thought, or the thought supports an emotion. It can go both ways. So now we are aware of a thought creating an emotion, right? Then we can ask ourselves, next question, and that's self-coaching. Oh, great. Now I'm aware of the thought. Where does the thought come from? Then we got to look at the support systems. Where does that come from? It can come from a social paradigm, something that is socially accepted, like rich people are no honest people. Things like that, social paradigms. So we come across other layers, but there is always a bottom that says, okay, that is where it came from. And when we come to the root, it's really the root of that belief system in the subconscious mind, we can tear the root out and it's over, and because there's no use to stay in this round here, okay? So we go layer by layer, and we're going to look at the support levels, the support systems that support the thoughts and the feelings, the behavior, and then eventually also the results and the experiences. Does this help you? Hi, David. I'm going to translate this. How do I manage negative influences from the outside world? Wow, great question. If you are confronted with this daily, it's not easy. How can I avoid this? Well, one of the things that I teach in my program is there is a very big difference between the outside world, which is experience, and the inside world, that is thoughts and emotions. And you see these 5 antennas here, right? So we are programmed. It is simply in our social programming to believe that the outside world is the only real world. And that's not true. There's also an inside world. And David, we were programmed to react to that outside world in the same way over and over again. Follow me. If I put my hand on your hand and I start pushing you, what are you going to do? You are going to push back. Why are you going to push back? Because you are programmed to push back. And that is something that we need to unlearn, because everything we give energy to grows. So if we give energy to our outside negative world, it grows. If you fight with mom, if you fight with your boss, right? Or if you feel bad when somebody says something nasty and you take that personal, and now you are in that vibration for the whole day, thinking that you did something wrong, that is all programming. So what we need to learn is to disconnect you from the outside world so you can create a new world inside of you. And we have exercises for that. So you learn not to react anymore to the outside world. I remember when I started in this business, the whole world thought that I was going crazy. You know, my surroundings, my family members, people who love me dearly were thinking that I was losing it, you know? And they would say like, oh my God, she's entering a cult. We have to take care of her because she's gonna fall in the black hole. And then we're gonna lose her, you know, things like that. And of course that didn't happen because I found my true passion, my mission, everything, my purpose. And I had to learn not to convince them. That is such an example because my programming was convince people that you're right. And you know what? I learned that I didn't have to convince them. So I would say if somebody would tell me, oh no, you shouldn't do that, and that's bad for you, and it's gonna bring you bad luck, and you're gonna lose everything. By the way, I lost already everything, but anyway, you know, people's comments, because they care for you and they love you. And I had to say, yeah, you're right. And not take it personal and do everything I wanted to do. You know, I had to unlearn to react to the things that I didn't want anymore. And that is one of the things that we work on in our program. Okay? 10 more minutes of questions. Hi, Shaq. Is it correct to start analyzing a situation with your behavior, or that to see how you react on that and how others feel and how you can do it in another way next time? Yes, of course. Because this goes this way, but this also goes this way. You know, there are two different dynamics. So since the quantum model of reality teaches us that our environment, you know, and people are part of that environment, are a reflection of our awareness, of our level of awareness, and of our programming. Every person that we meet in life, we meet for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. But they all show us something about ourselves. So, Jacques, the way we understand that environment and the way we react or respond, which are two different things, will determine the relationship with these people. I had to learn not to give any attention anymore to certain people, so they would fall away on my level of living. I didn't have to kick them out of my life. Well, I did, because I was not aware that, you know, I could do it gently at the time. But let me tell you something really beautiful. When you learn to coach yourself and you start growing, all these negative people are going to fall away anyway. You don't have to do anything for it. I mean, today, you know, you probably heard Brian Tracy say, you know, we are the average of the 5 people that we spend most of the time with. You probably heard that before, right? So that means that, whoa, we have to take a look at the mirror, because the world is our mirror. The people that live around us are our mirror. And it's so easy, you know, to push and to point at our environment like, she's mean and he's not nice, and you know, he's not giving me any attention. And hey, ding ding, this is your mirror, and it doesn't mean that it's your conscious mirror. It's a subconscious mirror. All these people who push, you know, who are negative and who are challenging you, are bringing actually invitations with pink ribbons, if you can see it like that, that are invitation for you to outgrow them. Because I would give them the same kind of reaction. You know, I was the one, if somebody would put a nasty comment on Facebook, I would be the first one to say, and I had to unlearn that. But that unlearning comes when your awareness grows. When you become more and more aware of yourself and of the world around you that is just the mirror of your awareness and your level of thinking and your level of emotions and actions, well, you can look at that and say, oh, okay, now I'm going to take that invitation. Now I'm going to take that invitation. Now I'm going to take that invitation. I'm going to work with it. And I'm going to coach myself so I can overcome. Actually, you outgrow those circumstances. You outgrow them because your level of thinking and feeling and awareness grows. That's it. Because that is how the quantum model of reality works. Like attracts like. Okay, does this help? Goya says, I'm aware of this and working on this the past year and feel happier and more relaxed than ever. I'm so happy for you. What if you don't see the results of that yet in today's life? Yeah, and that's a hard one, Cora. That is a hard one because there is a law of incubation and gestation. And that law of incubation and gestation says that we can sow and we can reap, but not in the same season. So it means that you have to be persistent. And there are three main levels. You have to keep your thoughts on the things that you want. That's number one, instead of giving the majority of thoughts on problems and things that you don't want. Second, you really need to train to feel good most of the time. I remember the launch of The Secret, the movie. And in that movie, I think it was Jack Canfield who said, think about something, feel good, and then, you will attract it. That is not true. The Secret was incomplete as a movie. It was a beautiful movie, but it was very incomplete. Why? Because, when we visualize or meditate, we bring forth the idea on the screen of our mind, and then we can add a feeling tone to that. And then once the visualization of the meditation ends, we turn our back, we go back to life, and we start again bitching and complaining about certain things. And we don't understand that we block our own creative process. So there is a very important training. It's pure training to keep yourself in the most dominant, most occurring vibration that has to be positive. Every time that you lower your vibration because you're frustrated and you're angry and you're disappointed and you feel sad or mad, you kill the creative process. That's number two. And number three, all your actions, your feet, have to be in the direction of the things that you want. So your decision making now, which is actually a physical action, has to be in alignment with this. Because if you take decisions accordingly to the past or to your old habits or to the things that are familiar from the past, you are recreating the past and not the future. So creation is always a threefold thing. And we need to train ourselves and coach ourselves to stay in that same track. The last thing I want to add to that, 4 more minutes. If you have questions, this is the time. The last thing I want to add to that is you need to keep on stepping in the directions of the results that you want. You don't have to force it. You don't have to manipulate it. You don't have to get it, right? Because that's the old Newtonian model of reality. We're now in the quantum model of reality that says, just walk in the direction of your dreams and you will encounter, the things that you want within common hours. One of the famous Tarot quotes. So you keep on walking in that same directions, because if you don't walk in the right direction, you will never meet the results. So it is really a matter of three levels of self-management. Self-coaching, self-management. That is very important. Okay? I'm looking if there's something else. I don't understand this one. What's that? Can the laws that you're teaching? I don't understand, Karin. I don't understand. I think we're good now. I'm overlooking all your comments, guys. Oh, wait a second, not so fast. My husband is scrolling the screen. I'm so grateful that I could hear this. Repetition is the mother of all skills and the first law of learning. Yes, Lisbeth, it is. It is absolutely. People are kicking me out of their life. It means you are outgrowing them. They're not kicking you out. You outgrow them. Or maybe they are growing and you are getting stuck. That's possible too. But it means that you are on a different level of frequency and vibration. Angelique says, thanks for the response to David. That's crystal clear now. Love it. I'm just overlooking the things that you write. I think we're good. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this session. You know, Facebook Live will always post that again. Oh, okay. Here's one more. The last question from Karine Bovy. Can the laws that you're teaching be used by bad people to get what they want? Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Absolutely. But you and your world is one creative place. Okay? There are bad people in the world using exactly the same laws, exactly the same universe, because we live in the universe. We are part of the same universe. We are built by the same universe. So they have bad intentions, negative intentions, and if they know how to co-create with the law, yes, they can. But if your level of thinking, which is a frequency, and feeling, which is a vibration, is different than their thinking and their vibration, you will not meet them. I think that is good. I think that is so important to understand that when you live on this level, and there are bad people who are living on this level, but you are here and you stay there, you don't lower yourself to this level, you can never meet. You can never meet. And I think that is a very good thing. Please don't mingle with negative people. I remember the big session that we did last May. There was somebody in the audience and he said, how do I treat negative people? And my answer was, and that's the last thing I'm going to say tonight, my answer was very straight and simple. You don't deal with negative people. Leave them alone. No positive energy. Don't try to change them. Don't give it any of your attention, because it is all energy management. It's your energy management. And when you learn to coach yourself, and when you learn to manage your own energy, all good things are going to come from that. And the more you grow, the more positive things and positive people will come from that, because also the people around you will change. Okay, guys, thank you so much for spending this session with me. We will be back in a week, which is a good thing. We will announce this, don't worry. And I'm happy that you are here with me. In the meantime, I want to wish you a merry, wonderful, lovely, caring Christmas, okay? And Christmas is a beautiful part of the year. You know, on the radio, everybody says, this is the most beautiful part of the year. And I agree. But I also know that we can build our daily Christmases, because I strongly believe, and I was teaching that to my team the other day, that Christmas starts here. The peace around you is a reflection of the peace inside of you. And Christmas is a celebration of life, the birth of Christ. Let's not forget that. And you know, the connection between the people, and peace. And that peace, it starts here. I am so convinced about that. The more you are at ease and in peace with yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you are clear about what you want, and the more you can manage your emotions to positive feelings, the more you create heaven on earth. Okay? Yes, you can see it back. Agafe Yuke is asking if you will be able to see this back. Yes, because it's going to take a while, a few minutes, I think. But we will post it on my Facebook page, so you will be able to see it over again and to share it with all your loved ones.
We're gonna post
Okay.
it on your Facebook page. It is on your Facebook.
It is on my Facebook page. Oh, you see how technical I am? My husband says we're not going to post this on my Facebook page. It is already on your Facebook page. So, guys, yes, of course, you will be able to see it. Once more, Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you for spending this time, and we will see you soon again. Bye-bye.